I thought I'd do something different today, so I'm going to have a walk around Ho Chi Minh City, see what Saigon's got to offer. And I'm going to start by walking out my apartment and down the lane and towards Ben Thanh.
We chose to stay in the middle of the city, in a back alley, so we could get that real Saigon experience.
So Ben Thanh Market, being a square, has 4 entries, so you can go from any side. There's a front one that is on the northern side, and there's a rear one that goes over to the highway. So I'm just going to have a walk around and have a look at what's here. So you've got a bit of a produce area to start with, which has got your normal meats, and if you're here earlier, it's also got some vegetables out on the front area. But the main attraction of Ben Thanh is there's some food at the front, which is a little bit overpriced and about 3 times more what you'll find on the streets.
Okay.
As you get here, you can walk down a lot of the alleys. On the alleys, you've got a lot of different sellers. There's about 3 lanes of food. Not today, thank you. Nah, later. Yeah. Later. Some very good food stalls here. It's a little bit crowded, as I said before, a little bit more expensive on the street. But if you're here and you've only got a couple of days, would be the place to come to get that Saigon experience. Once you get to the back of the market, you start to look at more of clothing, bags, shoes, all that thing. But if you're here during the day, it can be quite busy. So you've got all manner of things here. You've got food, nuts. You've got a lot of smaller aisles that you can go down that have got chinaware, pots, pans, your normal souvenirs. Further to the back, you've got a lot of fake shirts, fake shoes, fake bags, all that type of stuff, but very good quality. So this area here, no thank you. Good area here for shirts, all things Vietnam, Saigon. Patagonia bags, North Face, you name it, all the brands are here. So as you pop out the back of Ben Thanh Markets, you'll find a square just over the side of the road, and all this last week I've noticed a lot of people over there, a lot of locals doing selfies, getting pictures taken. It seems to be an area that is very much an area for selfies and photos. As you leave Ben Thanh Market, you can see behind me Skydeck. That's where you get one of the best views of Saigon. We're going to head up there later. A lot of people also call it Marble Tower, based on Tony Stark's landing pad. Bit of a stretch, I think. So outside the market, you've got Loi Street. So the best way to get into the main area of what I call District 1 of Saigon is just to follow that street. It's got 2 lanes, a big area in the middle where they sometimes have a lot of exhibitions, and just follow it. Lots of good shops, some good restaurants, and that'll take you into the French Quarter area of Saigon. So halfway along the Loi Street, you'll find you've got this main area that's got 3 lanes, and then this is the one usually in the middle that has exhibitions, concerts. It's used for New Year, it's used for pre-Christmas, it's used for Tet that's coming up soon. You can see that it goes all the way up to City Hall, and on the other side, it goes all the way down towards Ben Thanh Market. Very good area to get used to, because you can walk up and down here, lots of streets, you've got the markets, you've got normal shops, and also in this street you've got Takashimaya, which is a very big department store, has a good food court down below it, and opposite that you've also got the Saigon Centre for some more good shopping. So here you have Saigon Square. Once again, a lot of bags, a lot of electrical gear, a lot of clothing, but at a better price than Ben Thanh. So this is Saigon Square, and this has got a lot more better clothing, a lot better clothing. So So come on down to Saigon Square, have a look. You'll get better prices than Ben Thanh, and there's a lot more stuff here of better quality and more to look at. So cross the road and you'll find Takashimaya. So with Takashimaya, it has a big department store at the main entry, and if you walk through that, once you've had a look, you'll then find smaller stalls and a lot of shops at the back through a separate area. Also down the bottom, there's a couple of things you'll get used to in Saigon: Highland coffee and bread talk. All through Asia, bread talk, you can't go better. Fresh bread, lovely. If you also do want to do some grocery shopping, there's a gourmet market at the bottom as well, which we go to once a week. You'll find all your breads, your cereals, milks, all the good stuff. So that's Takashimaya department store. Let's get back up on the main road and get into that French Quarter. One thing you will notice as you're walking down this street, there's a lot of laneways you can just go down and have a good look at. There's one that's got a sign out the front that says back restaurant, which I think is good. I'm going down to have a look at that restaurant. I might feature that in another episode at some stage. Looks like you get tattoos down here, stone jewellery, all sorts of things. Even if you've been to Saigon 100 times, there's something new this year. The new subway has opened. So if you're here, it's got about 10 stops onto it. It's only the one track at the moment, but get on there, go out to the suburbs and see what else there is a little bit further out. So as we keep walking down, you'll eventually get to Nguyen Hue Street. This is the main walk street. They lay the red carpet out for you. And this is what I call the French Quarter of Saigon. It's got the City Hall behind me with the statue of Ho Chi Minh, and then heading down the other end, it's got the big walk street that leads down to the port area. So here you have the statue of Ho Chi Minh. So on this square, you're also going to find all the top shops, all the top restaurants, the boutiques. Here we have Burberry, Balmain, Mueller, Versace, Chanel. It's all here. So if you want to do a bit more top-end shopping, this is the place to be. Also, right next to the Ho Chi Minh statue, where you see the buildings that have Chanel and Versace, etc. on it, that's the Rex Hotel. Now, the Rex Hotel has been here since pre-war. It was where a lot of journalists stayed, a lot of politicians stayed, and they have what's called the 5 o'clock follies. Now, we're going to go up there tonight and have a look, but it's where everyone used to go at 5 o'clock during the Vietnam War to have drinks and discuss what was going on.
If you feel like treating yourself, the Rex Hotel is an excellent place to be there at 5 o'clock to watch the sunset on Saigon.
So the French area, the French Quarter, District 1, where you've got cafes, outdoor dining, restaurants, it's all here. This is probably the quality place to stay, but if you stay a little bit further out, you're also going to get those food treats, those little areas where the locals live, those little back alleys. I think if you're going to do Saigon, you need to do a bit of both worlds. So as you're walking down the main walk street, if you take a left just opposite the Rex Hotel, you'll see the Opera House. Now I went there last night, I'll show some footage of that now, and it was $25 Australian for a ticket, and the Bamboo Circus was an absolutely brilliant performance. I would recommend, if you get a chance, buy a ticket, go to the theatre. The show was only an hour, but you get to see an old style French theatre that still is in very good condition. On the right-hand side of the Opera House, you've also got the Hotel Continental Saigon. That hotel has been there pre-war days as well and is in its prime and glory. You can stay there, the rooms are very good, it's opposite the Opera House, it's a short walk to the main street, and it's a short walk to most of the eating areas. It's a very nice place. I'll leave a link below to the hotel so you can have a good look at what they have to offer. So tucked between the Hotel Continental Saigon and the Opera House, you'll find a small little booth, the City Sightseeing bus ticket booth. Now at this booth you can buy your tickets for the hop-on, hop-off buses, which leave from just across the road. So it's an easy point to start, and from there you can do the trip all around the city in comfort, in a bus, daytime, nighttime, 300,000 dong. Another thing to do in Saigon, especially of a night, is to go up to the 9th floor of the Caravelle Hotel, and they have a really nice rooftop dining area and bar that you can look over the lights of the city. It is very good. They also usually have a nice band up there. It's another place where journalists, expats and politicians used to spend during the Vietnam War, and once upon a time it was the highest building in Saigon. As you continue to walk down Nguyen Hue Street, you'll find there's a lot of eateries left and right hand sides, a lot of cafes, a lot of shops, just a lot of interesting things to stop and have a look at. In the heat of the day, you've also got a few awnings so you can get out of that sun and get into a little bit of shade, and there is a lot of places that do have air-conditioned eating. Okay, going to keep heading down this way and get to Skydeck. As you get halfway down the road, you'll come across the apartment cafes. Easy to find. Go up, have a look, see if you can book a table. Just opposite the Times Square building, you'll find all the coffee places, Starbucks, Happy Bean, and there's about 3 others, all lined in a row. When you get to the footblock corner, which has got the HD Bank on the other side, turn right. There's a little laneway there with some eateries. Go past those and then we'll turn left to get to the Skydeck. So once you get to Skydeck, it's just a matter of paying for the ticket, hopping in the lift, and having a 360 view of Saigon. So from Skydeck, you would have seen that you're about 30 seconds away from the harbour. The hardest bit to see the harbour is getting across the road, because this is probably the worst road in Vietnam to cross. It's about 8 lanes each side and no one stops for you, so you've just got to do the Frogger thing and slowly make your way across there. So after looking at the waterfront, I've come back across the road and I'm going to walk up Dong Quai. But I do mean it, that if you do need to cross this road, there is a pedestrian crossing. It is about 4 lanes either side. There is no lights, there is no walk light. No one will stop for you. You just need to slowly walk across and let the traffic go around you. It's probably level 9 Asia traffic crossing. So walking up Dong Quai, you're still going to have that Vietnamese French feeling, but you are going to start coming across things like the Hotel Grand, the Sheraton, and bigger hotels like that. And with those hotels, you also start to get more westernized restaurants. Just opposite the end of the City Hall building, which you'll see the Vincom building. It's got a big H&M sign up top on it. Go in there, you've got about 4 or 5 levels of good shopping as well, and you can do that on the way to the Notre Dame Cathedral. For the last 8 years I've been coming to Vietnam, I've tried to see Notre Dame Cathedral in Saigon. And every time it's covered in scaffolding.
Once you reach the cathedral, you've got 3 things to look at here. You've got the cathedral, the post office, and also Book Street. Book Street is a great place to have a rest, grab a coffee, or even read that book.
If you look to your right when you're at the cathedral, the first thing you'll see, big building, it's the Saigon Post Office. I think it was made around 1886 and it's still a functioning post office. Let's go in and have a look. People say it's very photogenic, but it is also functioning. So if you got up early, had a Vietnamese breakfast, maybe bonnet or something like that, and headed out on the walk that we've just done today, that would pretty much take you a good day. You could do the Skydeck maybe during the day if you wanted a good clear view, or you could do it at night and get all the lights, or maybe on sunset to get a bit of both. But that's one day. So if you're here for 3 days, I would recommend doing that. And then maybe on day 2, you could head out to, say, District 10 and try the real Vietnamese food. Have a look at these 2 videos I've posted previously and see if one of those interests you on walking down the real eat streets of Vietnam. And then to finish off, if you've only got 3 days and you can't extend, why not spend a day at the museums? So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to give you a quick look at 3. They're just down the road, so let's go and see what the best museums in Saigon have to offer.
The War Remnants Museum is a harrowing but interesting perspective of the Vietnam War told from the Vietnam side. The audio tour is exceptional and allows you to take your own time, and I would definitely recommend using that. The museum is air conditioned, which is welcoming from the heat. The section on Agent Orange is quite confronting. The photojournalistic section is brilliant. On the 30th of April 1975, 2 Viet Cong tanks burst through the gates of the Independence Palace around noon. This marked the fall of Saigon. And by 11:30 that morning, the Viet Cong flag was raised on top of the Independence Palace, marking the end of the Vietnam War. The Independence Palace has been kept as it was in 1975. A walk around the palace should only take about an hour and a half, and there is also a good audio tour that is available. The Ho Chi Minh City Museum is housed in an old French building and holds a very good display of the history of Ho Chi Minh City and other aspects of Vietnam. The museum itself also seems to be a very popular place for young Vietnamese to take photographs and selfies. It can take around 1 to 2 hours to fully explore the entire museum, including the underground bunker.